Good day and happy blessed Friday. I was sitting here thinking about different stories in the Bible where the Lord would bless people with things and then see what they would do with the blessings or the gifts. And it reminds me of parenting. It reminds me of the precious gift that I received of the conception and the birth of my child, and how honored I felt and how blessed I felt. And when he was born, just the joy and the love, it was like these conflicting feelings and this desire to want to like nurture and to protect. And how do you honor the Most High God? You take care of the blessings that he bestows upon you. And so it made me think about this time where I had got this new job. And in the interview process, I told them that I was a new mommy and that my son was my number one priority. But something happened where he got sick, and his dad and I took him to the hospital. Of course, we're praying that everything is fine, but we were in there for hours and his temperatures kept spiking. We were trying to get his temperature down. They did a spinal tap, and the conclusion was he had some virus that needed to work itself out of his system. So we took him home, but we didn't get home until really, really, really late. And I just remember being absolutely exhausted. And the next morning, although I hadn't passed my probationary period, I called in and called out. I needed to rest and I needed to be with my child to make sure that he was nursed back to health. And so when I did come back to work, I remember hearing about me hitting off, but at that point it was completely and totally a moot point because I did what I did and I said what I said, and it is what it is, right? What the fuck ever. So when it came time, as my 30-day probationary period was approaching, when I hit it, they ended up letting me go because of the incident with my son. And I couldn't help but think, if I didn't look like me, that I would have been given some leniency, but because I was and am who I am, I didn't get that and lost the job. But what the fuck ever. So as time goes on, I'm just watching my son and he's growing. Like, weeks, days, months, years are just, they're zipping by, and I'm very fully present. I'm at practices, and there were times where he was playing basketball and he would go to practice after class, and I would run home in the middle of traffic and make sure I straightened up everything and put on dinner, because I wasn't raising a fast food kid. I was going to nurture him with home cooked meals, regardless of how busy my day was or how tired I was. I was going to be intentional. And so after putting on dinner, I will go all the way back to the school, pick him up, make sure I had space if he wanted to talk, to be able to have that conversation. And then when we got home, he, took a shower, was able to eat dinner. We graced the food. But there was some kind of consistency, some normalcy, some intention around what home and evening time looked like. And then there's this other time where I took him out to Monterey, and he hadn't seen Monterey since he was a baby. And his dad and I took him and his sister out there to the aquarium. But I wanted him to experience it as an older, teen, and to be able to build more memories with him. And so we jumped in the car and we laughed and we drove out to Monterey. And then when we got there, we stood by the water, and we were literally standing like shoulder to shoulder, kind of leaning over a rail. There was a boat in the water. It looked like some whale watchers, and there were sea otters. And I mean, the sight was just beautiful. And we went and we sat down and we had lunch together and we laughed and we ate and we just talked. We walked around the little stores on the wharf and, looked at little trinkets and knickknacks and maybe picked up a couple, but nothing major. And then we got in a car and came home, but it was a whole day. We took a lot of precious pictures, and I still have those pictures, and just the memories, right? The time that we spent together, that good quality time that I will always remember. And I hope his memory supersedes mine because it warms my heart when I think about it. And I think about honoring the Most High God and the gifts that He blesses you with. And so, my child being one of those most precious gifts and serving the Lord was me honoring throughout his life, being fully present and committed to Him and the work that it took putting in to raising him, and not just by myself with his dad. And that time goes by really fast, and there are no do-overs. And how will you honor the blessings and the gifts that are bestowed upon you? Once that time is gone, it's gone. I remember seeing moms that didn't look like me have the ability to drop off and pick their kids up. And in my mind, I knew that there was precious time and things being built in that moment, or in those moments of drop off and pick up. And I made sure that was a priority for me and tried to make sure I had the time to do so. So put in the work, take care of your blessings, spend quality time with your children, serve the Lord in taking care of His gifts. Thank you for listening.